Hello children. I Geeta Jain, science teacher of class 6, welcome you all. Today we will revise chapter 6, changes around us. We have many things around us. All of these things have certain properties such as state, solid, liquid or gas, position, shape, size, color, temperature, composition and structure. When one or more properties of a thing become different, we say that it has changed or change has taken place in it. Change involves different kinds of alterations in the things around us. When a change takes place, there may be change in the state, position, shape, size, color, temperature, composition of substances, or the material of the object. Here is an example. When ice melts, yes, we all have observed it. It forms water. Now we know that ice is a solid whereas water is a liquid. So, the melting of ice involves a change in the state from solid state to liquid state. Some of the important changes observed by us in our day to day life are formation of curd from milk, cooking of food, burning of fuels, drying of clothes, and rusting of iron. We can go on adding more and more examples of changes to this list. Some more examples of the changes around us are melting of ice, boiling of water, making of chapatis from flour, burning of fireworks, germination of seeds, flowering of plants, ripening of fruits, shedding of leaves, growth of human beings and animals, formation of day and night, position of sun in the sky, changes in seasons, changes in weather and rainfall, etc. Yes, we have observed so many changes around us. Some changes are beneficial to us, whereas some are harmful to us. We try to ensure that the beneficial changes take place faster, but the harmful changes are either stopped or made to go slow. For example, the ripening of fruits is a beneficial change. So we try to make the ripening of fruits faster by using artificial methods. On the other hand, the spoiling of cooked food is a harmful change. So we try to slow down the change by keeping the cooked food in a refrigerator. The change in a material or object does not occur on its own. There is always a cause which brings about a change in a material. For example, ice does not melt to form water on its own. Ice must be given heat to melt and change into water. Thus, heat is the cause of the change of state of ice from solid to liquid. In fact, there is always a cause for a change. In this cause, which brings about the change in a material, in some changes, the cause is very obvious, but in other changes, it is not so obvious. Some of the ways of bringing about changes in materials are by applying heat, light, electricity, or force. A change can also be brought about in a material by mixing another substance. Yes, if we take water and if we add sugar to it, what happens? The taste of the water changes to the sweet one. For example, when water is mixed with sugar, then sugar dissolves in water to form sugar solution. Now, dissolving sugar in which is a change which have been brought about by mixing another substance, water to sugar. Classification of changes. We have, yes, we have seen the different kind of changes, but how we have classified it. A substance undergoes a change to form a new substance only when certain agents like heat, light, electricity, or force are applied to it. If the agent causing the change is removed, then in some cases the new substances undergoes a change in the reverse direction to form the original substance, and we say that the change can be reversed or that the change is reversible. If, however, the new substances formed does not undergo reverse change to form the original substance, then we say that the change cannot be reversed or that the change is irreversible. In reality, some of the changes can be reversed whereas other changes cannot be reversed. So, all the changes around us can be classified into two groups: reversible changes which can be reversed, and the second category is irreversible changes, that means changes which cannot be reversed. We will now discuss reversible changes and irreversible changes around us in detail one by one. Let us start with reversible changes. A change which can be reversed to form the original substance is called a reversible change. This will become clear from the following examples. See activity 1 in your textbook. Yes, you have to take a balloon, blow air into it. The shape and size of balloon change. The balloon gets inflated. Now let us now allow the air fill in the balloon to escape. We will find that when all the air escapes, the balloon comes back to its original shape and size. This means that inflating a balloon is a change which can be reversed, and in other words, inflating a balloon is a reversible change. Now see the activity 2. Yes, take a piece of paper, fold it as shown in figure 2. You have changed the sheet of paper into an aeroplane. Now, when we unfold this toy aeroplane, we will get exactly the same sheet of paper. So, the folding of paper is a reversible change. Activity 3. Let us take some dough and make a ball of it. We roll this ball of dough into a circular roti by using a rolling pin. Now, if we want, we can convert this rolled roti back into the ball of dough. This means that the rolling of roti out of dough is a change which can be reversed. So, the rolling of roti out of dough is a reversible change. So, here we have seen the three examples where when we reverse the condition, we get back the original substance, and this change is known as a reversible change. Now see the activity 4. Again, let us take a balloon and blow air into it so that it gets inflated to its full size. Tie the mouth of the balloon tightly with a thread. Now place the balloon between the palms of your hands. The balloon burst. This burst balloon cannot be changed back to its original shape and size. So, the change which occur during the bursting of a balloon cannot be reversed. In other words, the bursting of a balloon is an irreversible change. The second example where we made a toy aeroplane. We again take the sheet of paper. This time we cut the sheet of a paper into a shape of an aeroplane. So the cutting of a paper is an irreversible change. After sticking it also, we cannot get the original paper. Now see the activity 6. Let us now bake the rolled out roti, the roti which you have rolled out. Now bake it on a tawa. Kept original ball of day. So the baking of roti is change which cannot be reversed. So baking of a roti is an irreversible change. What happened when we get back the roti? We cannot get back the dough again. So this change is a reversible change. So here we have learnt reversible change and irreversible change. Reversible change where we get by reversing the condition, we get back the original substance, while in irreversible change by reversing the condition also we cannot get back the original substance. Now here one table is given, table 6.1. You have to write over there whether the following change can be reversed or it cannot be reversed. The first one is raw egg to boiled egg. Yes, when the egg is raw and when you boil it, it has converted into the boiled egg. Certain chemical reaction has taken place into it and we cannot get back. But after cooling the egg again, we cannot get back the raw egg. So this change can be reversed back? No, this change we cannot reverse back. So it is an example of irreversible change. Better to idli. Yes, once we have made a idli, after steaming, we have made the idli, we cannot convert that idli back to the batter. So again, this is also an example of irreversible change. Wet clothes to dry clothes. Yes, once when the clothes are wet, we can always dry them. And again the same clothes, again we make them wet. So this change is a reversible change. Woolen yarn to knitted sweater. This change is again a reversible change. In this, once the sweater is being knitted, as I have already taught you in chapter 3, that we use the knitting process and one thread is been if unrailed from the woolen sweater, the whole wool we get back and from that wool again we can knit a new sweater. So this is an example of reversible change. Grain to its flour. Yes, once the grains are grinded and we have made the flour out of it, we cannot get back the grains. So again, this is an example of irreversible change. Cold milk to hot milk. Yes, we can convert the cold milk to hot milk and hot milk to cold milk by reversing the condition. So this is an example of reversible change. Straight string to a coiled string. Yes, we can always straighten the uh, thread and we can always coil down the thread. So this is again an example of a reversible change. Bud to flower, it's an example of irreversible change. Once the bud is being converted into the flower, it cannot be get back to the bud condition. Milk to paneer. Yes, once we get the paneer out of milk, we cannot reverse back paneer to milk. So it is an example of irreversible change. Cow dung to biogas. That means whatever the cow dung we have gathered and we have converted into the gas. Generally, this biogas is being used in the villages to cook food. Yes, so we cannot get back the cow dung back from the biogas. So it is an example of irreversible change. Stretched rubber band to the normal size. Yes, it is an example of reversible. We can stretch it, and when we remove the strength out of it, we remove the power out of it, we will see that it comes back to its original shape. So it is an example of reversible change. Ice cream to molten ice cream. Yes, ice cream to molten. Yes, ice cream, if you keep it outside the refrigerator, it melts. But again, if that melted ice cream, if you again keep back to the refrigerator, it again frozen. It again become the solid. So this is an example of reversible change. Could this be other ways to being a change? Yes. So here we have learnt about the reversible change and irreversible change. The other thing which you have to learn about this is contraction and expansion. Expansion on heating is a reversible change. When an object is heated, it increases its size. The increase in size on heating is called expansion. The expansion of an object on heating is a reversible change. This is because when the hot object is cooled, it decreases in size and comes back to the original size. The decrease in size of an object on cooling is called contraction. So, when the object increases in size on heating, we call it expansion, and on cooling, it decreases its size and is known as contraction. Thus, in most simple terms, expansion means increase in size and contraction means decrease in size. Expansion occurs on heating, whereas contraction occurs on cooling. The reversible change of expansion is used in fixing an iron rim on the wooden wheel of a cart and fixing the iron belt of a digging tool like a spade to a wooden handle. Fixing of iron blade of a digging tool to a wooden handle. You can see here some tools are being shown. Yes, now then how come this wooden is being fixed into this iron tools? The iron blade of a soil digging tool is affixed to a wooden handle by the process of expansion on heating and followed by contraction on cooling. The iron blade of a spade has a ring in which the wooden handle is to be fixed. The iron ring of a spade blade is made slightly smaller than the thickness of a wooden handle, which is to be fixed in it. To fix the handle, the ring of iron blade of spade is heated over a fire. On heating, the iron ring expands and becomes slightly bigger in size. One end of the wooden handle now easily passes through the hot ring. Cold water is then poured over the hot ring of the spade blade to cool it. On cooling, the hot ring of a spade blade contracts and becomes smaller in size and fits tightly on the wooden handle. Fixing of iron ring to the wooden wheel of a cart. All of us have seen the wooden wheel and bullock carts and horse carts having thin iron rims or thin iron tires around them. The iron rims are fitted around wooden wheels by the process of expansion on heating followed by contraction on cooling. This is done as follows. The iron rim is made slightly smaller than the wooden wheel. The iron rim is heated uniformly by making a fire, due to which it expands and becomes somewhat bigger in size. Being bigger in size, the hot rim is easily put around the wooden wheel and then cold water is poured over the hot rim to cool it. On cooling, the hot rim contracts, becomes slightly smaller in size, and fits tightly onto the wooden wheel. In the next video, from the activity 7 we will start, and there we will learn about the physical change and chemical change. Thank you and keep learning.